Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Florida Senate passes law protecting restaurants and consumers from third-party delivery services. So recently I received an email from one of my subscribers, Troggy. Thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And it is about a Florida law that has recently passed about gig apps in general, and it seems to take a very different approach in comparison to that of New York City or Seattle, which I am semi-excited about, to be honest. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers, customers, and restaurants, what is being said by Troggy on the subject, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. So first off, the email that he sent had a very personal message. I do want to say thank you so much to Troggy for being so supportive to me and the channel. Now on to this cool news out of Florida, our state, so it seems. Ran into this one, and I think it could be a positive start to fixing some of the customer and driver issues, at least for Florida with driver apps. Transparency being the main issue, it appears they went after. It'll take time to implement, but if old Ron Desantis signs this, it might be at least a base hit in a couple of years. Would love to hear your thoughts whenever you're up to it, if you choose to use this for a video. Take care, Joe. We are with you. Catch you soon in whatever capacity and direction you choose. Huge respect out to you, Troggy. Well, let's have a look. I'm always into a more transparent system, but let's make sure we know what we're talking about. The Florida State Senate passed a bill last week designed to regulate third-party food delivery apps, specifically with the aim of increasing consumer and business protections against companies like Doordash, Grubhub, and UberEats. The bill heads to Governor Ron Desantis' desk for final approval. Now, when they say business protections, I'm not sure if they are also referring to gig workers, but it could very well be, because we are in business for ourselves too, but this could also just be for restaurants. Let's see. Food delivery apps are very popular. Florida State Senator Jennifer Bradley, who first introduced the bill, said in a statement. They provide great convenience to consumers, but for the fast growth of food delivery has also made clear that we need consistent standards for transparency, consent, and communication between platforms, restaurants, and consumers. I mean, you're not wrong. There does need to be a stronger sense of transparency, and that is not only for the consumer side, that's not only for the business side, that's for everybody. That means tip transparency. That means not allowing shadier practices. And that also means that all the parties involved need to actually, be better about it in general. I know that restaurants have a problem with gig workers. I know that gig workers have a problem with restaurants. I just had a problem with First Watch. While this is a big and growing industry, there's a lot of parts that need to be looked at for closer examination. The new bill would prohibit food delivery platforms from arranging for food pickup from restaurants without their express consent. And if a restaurant requests to be removed from a delivery platform, then that request must be complied with within 10 days. This was a huge problem with Grubhub and Doordash for a while, to where they would make websites for other restaurants and almost force them to accept DoorDash and Grubhub orders, pretending to be customers that are calling in. And then these drivers are like, hey, I'm picking up for Grubhub. What? We're not on Grubhub. What are you talking about? And that affects the restaurant brand. So yeah, that needed to stop years ago, and I thought they already handled it, but what do I know? The bill also provides transparency protections for both consumers and food service establishments, requiring delivery platforms to disclose the purchase of food and beverage, delivery fee, tax, and gratuity, as well as estimated time and date of delivery to consumers before they place an order. Additionally, partnership agreements between food delivery apps and restaurants must state upfront all fees and commissions that will be charged to the business, as well as clearly state all platform policies, insurance requirements, and policies regarding disputed transactions. And yet they still haven't talked much about the drivers in question. This seems to only be targeting restaurants. Again, gratuity transparency, that's what we've been asking for years. But is that for us or is that for the restaurants? I don't know. Under the new bill, third-party delivery platforms also have almost 16 months to provide restaurants with communications capabilities between business and consumers that place orders on the delivery platform. If the bill passes by July 2025, food delivery platforms will have to allow restaurants to speak directly with customers during preparation of the order, during the delivery process, and up to 2 hours after the order has been fulfilled. By July 2025, delivery platforms must also provide restaurants with the ability to directly respond to consumer reviews left on the platform. Okay, so there are a couple things that have been addressed here that I am shocked are not already on there, and I thought they were, but I guess I was wrong. But let's go over them really quick. Allowing restaurants to speak directly with customers during the preparation of the order, during the delivery process, and up to 2 hours after the order has been fulfilled. I've placed orders on Uber Eats, on Doordash, and on Grubhub. I have spoken to the restaurants specifically. They have contacted me specifically. That's not new. In fact, I would go as far as saying, yes, that's exactly what has already been placed. In fact, it almost seems like the law that has been presented is not even fixing anything. It's just solidifying things that were already there to be there permanently. But then again, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, one of their MOs is that they add a feature and then they find a way to ruin that feature to make them more money. I guess that there's a positive to that. So having the government literally say, yeah, this is a good thing, you're not fucking with that, I guess that's necessary. Also, the idea that the customers can contact them too, that's again a positive thing. And the ability to respond to reviews left on the platform so they can properly defend themselves. Again, I'm surprised that they don't have that. In fact, let me check on something. This review page is on a restaurant that kind of opened up relatively recently around here. Doesn't look like they have an opportunity to respond to people on here. In fact, I don't see any responses. I only see a helpful button, and helpful doesn't allow for other interactions. I feel like if you're gonna have a review page, it should be your site that is your review page, or there's a level of social media aspect to it. Like if DoorDash had like a Yelp aspect to it to where people can leave their reviews and there could be other interactions there, that would be excellent. But no, that's not happening here. So that would be a positive addition to the platform, in my opinion. We are pleased that Florida policymakers took a collaborative approach on how platforms like DoorDash can support local restaurants and pass this bill that will help us continue to connect with customers with the best of their communities. A representative for DoorDash said in a statement, "We're committed to the privacy of everyone who uses our platform, and this bill allows us to implement tools that connect customers and merchants without jeopardizing their personal information." There's literally only one thing that is actually being added, and the rest of it is basically saying, hey, don't mess with these features. Because that's important too. You gotta make sure that if there is a feature that you know DoorDash is known for making a feature and then ruining it, that they're not going to ruin it. So I guess that there is a point that could be helpful, but it doesn't really do anything. Now, forcing gratuity transparency, will that help us? Maybe. But I'm a little concerned with the fact that DoorDash is okay with this. Maybe because they've been on the receiving end of some crap already with New York and Seattle and DC. I guess seeing that this isn't that big of a deal, they're like,
yeah, can we do more of this instead of just trying to take our money, please?
I guess that's why they're so okay with it, but I don't know, man. I feel like that's a red flag to me. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I don't know how to feel about this bill. This is not about politics, by the way. I don't care what you feel about DeSantis, if you're left, right, or anything. This is about the bill itself. And quite honestly, it just doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, sure, transparency for tips, that is absolutely 100% necessary. That's a big thing. But it seems like that's more for the merchants and the customers rather than for us, the drivers. So I don't know if that's actually going to be helpful for us. Yes, I'm happy that these reviews that these restaurants are getting are actually going to have the opportunity for the restaurant to defend themselves. But again, that's really not the biggest thing here. The only thing it did is say, hey, you fix these things and you have these really good features. Don't mess with them. That's literally all it's doing. I don't know. I feel like DoorDash is happy that they're just not getting screwed with this time from another state that is passing legislation on them. So I guess cool, but I feel like it's not going to do a whole lot. If it ends up giving us tip transparency and if it ends up helping us in the long term, great. But there are so many other things that need to be fixed about the gig economy as a whole that I think that this is just not addressing, like how gig workers are highly mistreated nowadays. The outright disrespect of other companies, the outright disrespect of support teams, how customers can tip bait on Uber Eats. That shouldn't have been a thing. Either way, I hope that this helps us, but I don't know if it's actually going to do so. I feel like we need to give this some time to be implemented. Again, this isn't gonna pop up until 2025, but either way, it seems like a very lateral thing overall. It seems like it can go either way. If you guys also want to email me something about things that are taking place in the gig economy, my email is drivenwyld@gmail.com. Feel free to email me what you like, and who knows, maybe you'll get a shout out in a video as well, unless requested otherwise. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.